and welcome back. Now, this is our second of our Sewing Saturday shows. Yes, it's not Friday, it is Saturday. We have moved sewing to every second Saturday of the month, and this is where you're going to be seeing it from now on. So the sort of format, as I understand it, is one month, like this morning, we launch with our lovely dies, and then next month when we come back we'll be doing a craft along with that one, and we'll be launching something else, and that will be the craft along the month after. And then in between those there will be some Facebook live shows, one every week. We think it's possibly going to be Friday at 5 p.m. Now, you don't want to see me doing sewing or crafting along with sewing. You want to see our lovely lady on the other side of the room, and that's it's you, Becky. Stop looking around the corner for somebody else. It's our Becky. Hello.
Yay. Hello.
Do you like this new slot?
Yeah, it's a bit weird being here on a Saturday as my start of a show, but no, this is quite good. It's just you and me all weekend, isn't it?
It is me and you.
It's like party central.
Oh yeah.
It was just like that last night when I went to bed at 9:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just what I thought.
No, we woke up, so brass band serenading us awake in the morning.
We did. Got serenaded by a brass band first thing this morning. So there we go. What more can you want? So yes, this is how we're going to be rolling on a Saturday, but only one a month, so the second Saturday of every month. I just want to give you the only other deal that I really want to push and make sure that you know is our code SUMMER, SUMMER, is going to give you £5, $5, €5 off a spend. Very few exclusions apply. It can be a new launch, so it could be on your gorgeous Christmas dies. It could be on what we're going to be crafting along with today on the craft along. No restrictions like that. It's just going to give you £5, $5, €5 off your purchase. Only one per customer. So if you used it last week, I'm afraid you can't use it again today, but it does expire tomorrow. We've got to make it expire tomorrow because next week is Christmas. It's Christmas from the rooftops. It's going to be so much Christmas. I've seen all the decorations are ready to be put out there. There are so many. There's a release every day of the week next week. It's going to be Christmas fantastic. So there we go. Okay, so enough of that. Let's have a look at what we're going to do in today's craft along. Unfortunately, we've not got anybody crafting on the screen with us, but you can still craft along at home. And hopefully this is one that Becky thinks you can get through in the 2 hours that we've got of the show, if I stop chatting. So it won't need the follow-up Facebook Lives, because apparently I heard a rumour that she's going on holiday. I don't know if it's true, but
I was trying to keep that
Saturday.
Quiet. I was trying to keep it quiet.
No.
I didn't want people to know.
You didn't want everyone to know?
No,
Well, they do.
Oh, well, never mind. Yeah, I'm going on holiday, and I did suggest that I take all the equipment with me and do the craft alongs from holiday, but they said, no, take the time off.
Take the time off. Enjoy. Because you've also got your daughter's graduation in the middle of that.
I have,
really
yeah, which is quite annoying. You know, not annoying that she's graduated, but it's annoying that I've got to fly back for 2 days and then fly back home, back to New York. But that doesn't matter. It'll be great to see her.
It'll be worth it, won't it? Absolutely. Right, okay. So what do we need for the craft along, Becky? Have you got us a lovely list of everything we might need?
I have. So first of all, you'll need your Christmas Light and Holly Festive Cut and Stitch die set. You need your Festive felt bundle. I've used the Liberty Woodland Christmas Winterberry Holly, and that's the modern fabric. And I used, I'm just looking for that, I did 2 strips at 2 inches by 12 inches and 2 strips at 2 inches by 19 inches, and that's to create the binding. Then you need some cream fabric. You need 2 pieces that are 15.5 inches by 10.5 inches. So it's 2 pieces of the cream fabric. And then you need your red fabric, or I'm actually using green for the back of my mat because I ran out of red, 17.5 inches by 12.5 inches. You'll need some embroidery thread pack, which I'm using the rainbow one. You need some thread. You'll need a piece of ribbon, 12 inches worth of brown ribbon. You also need your A2 folding cutting mat, or any cutting mat will do. Your folding ruler, we're using the 6 by 24 inch folding ruler, your rotary cutter, your stick and stay adhesive spray, low tack tape, your Gemini, your sewing machine with a standard or a 1/4 inch foot, and an iron. that is what you will need.
There we go. That sounds really, really good. So I'm going to show you the deal and then I will see who is here now. If you want to craft along now, if you've already got them, or later, because obviously this craft along will be on YouTube forevermore, then you need our cut and stitch Christmas dies. So these are them. So you've got, and I've not got boards for these because I forgot the boards last time. You have got your Christmas lights and holly. So you can see you've got your lights and your holly. Then we've got Santa Claus. Isn't he gorgeous? Then we've got our reindeer, another gorgeous one. And then you've got your snowman. Now that's going to give you 44 dies in total. So what you're going to get is when you cut them out, you're going to get that lovely stitch detail around there. You'll see there are gold or brassy colour ones, so these are multimedia dies. Again, no reason why you can't be doing these out of your cardstock or anything like that. Your cotton, your felt, however you want. You're going to get that lovely detail on the back for each of those. And you're going to get a total of 44 dies. Now, when you buy that, we're going to give you your felt as well. You've got 14 sheets. Now look at the colour. So the sheets are 24 by 22 centimetres, so nearly a square. You've got pinks, whites, reds, oranges, different reds. So it's an orangey red and a deeper red. You've got a few different greens, yellows, a couple of different browns, creams, black, and some more green there as well. So really, really useful, really good Christmas colours in there, so you're going to find that really useful. So today's price for that is £39.96 or $51.80. You're saving $14.99 or 20%, which is the price of your felt. Your platinum price just down there is $31.97 or $41.44. And if you haven't already used it, please don't forget to use your code SUMMER, SUMMER, in the discount box, and that'll get you an extra £5 off, so £26 or $36, which is perfect. Right, now there seems to be a lot of people here watching you this afternoon, Becky. Oh. We've got Laurie saying, good morning, friends. I'll be crafting all day today. Yay, happy Saturday. Oh, I wonder what you're going to be crafting. Lillian says, hello again. Cheryl Weeder says, good morning, everyone. Crafting with Becky all day today. That is brilliant. Oops. Jumped. Terry H says, good morning, Corrine, Becky, Rachel and the team. We've got Daniel Pierce Holland saying, good afternoon, hope you are well. Becky, we've been enjoying the soft crafts that you have bought us. Say hello to Daniel. Yes, because
hello,
if
Daniel.
I can't control you, it's Daniel's fault. Daniel will know what I mean by that. She's as high as a kite. There we go. Zoe Carver says, afternoon, everyone. Hubby Brian is watching today too. Rosalind Russell says, already saved the video on YouTube, going to sit back and watch. Do you know what? That's how I do. I sit and watch and then work with the video at a later date. I find it easier. Mary Pat 1000 said, good morning, everyone from sunny Montana. I'm thrilled for Sewing Saturday. Well, so are we, and we're glad you enjoy it. Gareth Dobbs says, a good afternoon to Corrine, Becky, and all the CTTV crew, and all my lovely crafty friends. Well, we're saying hello back to you too. Shadai says, good morning, lovely ladies. Hello, Rad Rachel, because she's on our socials. And then Laura Parker says, really happy to see more softer side shows. So there you go. So I'm glad that you like it. Now, I'm going to just let Becky take over the reins for a bit, and I'll jump back in and remind you of some deals later on.
Okay. Fabulous. Okay, right. Now, this one, there's going to be a bit of hand sewing, but it's easy hand sewing because with these festive stitch and festive cut and stitch dies, you've got all those little hole perforations in there, so it's nice and easy to do. So making this table mat. Now, you can make this as more complicated, you can make it bigger and make it into a table runner, but I thought this is a good way of showing you how to use these really gorgeous little dies. So we're going to start off by cutting out the felt first of all. We're then going to stitch the pieces together, but we're not going to stitch around the outside. We're then going to build the rest of the table mat, and we're going to, so we're going to get the cream fabric. We're going to stitch these all into place place with that ribbon on there, as well as the little berries, and then we're going to finish off the table mats on there. So we've got a different kind of colour on the back. I've got green on the one that I'm going to be doing for you today. So we're going to start off by taking some of our felt. Now, as Corrine was saying, in that bundle, we've got all sorts of different colour felts, and I'm just going to use a mixture of them. I like to cut 2 pieces of felt at any one time, so I'm going to be using 2 layers, and I'm going to be using both sizes of those little dies. Now, in the sample I've done with, here, I've got 4 large pieces of felt, and then 2, 4, 6 smaller pieces of felt, but I'm going to cut plenty so we make sure we've got lots to use. So we're going to start off by just cutting a little bit of fabric, a little bit of this felt to the right size for these dies here.
So Becky, I don't know these dies. You're using one inside the other, so is one
Yeah.
an outline die and one the dots?
That's exactly it. So we've got that. We've done these before with no, not festive ones, but we did sort of floral ones.
All right.
We did rainbows and things like that. So they have this outer die, as you quite rightly say, and then we have the inner die, which has got all the perforations. And this is where, when we were talking earlier on, I was saying about running them through your Gemini, because you've got all these perforations and because felt is so fibrous, you may need to run them through the machine twice. And that is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to run them through the machine twice. Now, again, because we want to fit that little perforated die inside here, I'm going to tape those 2 pieces together before I put them on the fabric, just to make sure they're in the right place. I'm going to do the same with that one. I just think it makes it a lot easier. I'm not using my fabric plates for this because I prefer to use the plates that come with your Gemini machine to cut felt. I like to use the metal shim and then the frosted shim on them. I just find it cuts the felt a little bit better, but we are running it through the machine twice. Don't be afraid of doing that.
You get a metal shim with your junior plates, don't you? So do you do these on your junior or your full size?
I tend to, I have the full size one out, so I tend to use that more often. They will go through your midi, but because of those perforations, I just feel you need the extra pressure that you get with the actual Gemini, so they will go through the midi. But we'll
I'm just thinking the junior plates in the full-size machine.
Yeah, you could do, yeah, you could absolutely do that. Okay, we'll pop that on there. And then this one here. So we're going to go through 2 layers of fabric, or 2 layers of felt for each one of those. And then I'm going to cut some of the little, what are they called, little berries. Again, I'm going to do them in the same way as I did the other smaller dies earlier on today. So I'm going to take the berries, I'm going to glue them, I'm going to stick them onto a piece of tape first of all, before I put them onto the fabric. I just think it makes it a lot easier. Let's put them in.
Good little flitter.
Yeah, well, those tiny little things, you know, you can be all fingers and thumbs, can't you?
Mm.
So plenty of, and you do have lots of different colour felts in this collection. So you've got that sort of very deep, almost like a scarlet. Quite a good sort of holly red. So we've got that here first of all. So we've got the white plates, we've got the metal shim, we're going to put the frosted shim over the top, and then we're going to put the white plate over, but I'm going to run it through the machine twice to make sure I get all those perforations cut. Now with them, you will find that you will need to sort of poke those holes through those perforations, because it being fibrous. You will find that some of them will come out really, really easily, and they'll come out really easily and adhere themselves all over the part that holds your dies, because that's what always happens to me. But it takes no time for it to go through the machine twice, so you might as well make sure it's gone through and then cut properly. So we've got these here, so they've all cut fine. These are the little berries. We want to cut another set of these as well. But again, I want to make sure I've got rid of all of those little perforations out of the dies. So it cuts it nice and cleanly next time. So pop those over there. So this is it's a bit time consuming, this sort of getting it all organised, everything cut out. But I think that's the thing that I always like to do first. I like to make sure everything's cut out and ready before I start sewing anything. I'm just getting rid of all of those little holes. There's little bits of felt in there, like that. And then this one. And we'll run those through the machine as well. And we'll do some more of the holly with different colour felt.
Can you just remind Rhonda why you're not using the fabric plates?
I feel that they cut felt better using the actual the Gemini plates that come with your machine. It's a preference for me. I don't know why. I just like, I think it's I don't know. I felt it cut them quicker and better. But I would always use my fabric plates for cotton, but for felt, I just think it seems to work a little bit better, as far as I'm concerned. You might find that if for yourselves, Rhonda, or anyone else watching, that they prefer using the fabric plates all the way through. I know when Craig was on at Sewing Street when we launched the new Gemini 2, he was cutting, but admittedly not sort of intricate dies like these ones are, because you've obviously got all these little perforations, but he was cutting 6 layers of felt with the normal plates. With the fabric plates with the new Gemini. Which you absolutely can do if you're going to be cutting a general shape, but a little bit harder, a little bit like, when you're using your paper craft dies, you want to put that metal shim in when it's a really intricate cut, don't you? Yeah. So it's a similar kind of thing,
like you say, it's just trial and error, isn't it?
Yeah, you work out what works for you. Sometimes, one thing works really well for one. And I think, I do always think that, whilst it is the same machine, every machine's slightly different, isn't it? You've got different kinds of... and you've all got different ways of working. If you are using the same felt, you might not be using the same felt as somebody else who finds that one thing works better for one person than another. And there's all those different options. So a bit of tape on this one. So this is the larger die. Again, I'm reusing that tape every time. Well, not every time, but quite a lot of the time. And then we'll just get that in the right place.
What do you say you needed 8 in total?
2, 4, 6, 8. No, more than that, I think. I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 large ones and 6 small ones. Yeah. And as you can see, that they've all got the perforations more or less there. We just need to give them a little bit of pop out. So we'll get that there, and then I'm going to cut some of these out of here. So I'm just going to choose a couple more pieces of fabric. I'll do those ones on there. So you were saying earlier on that you don't, you do sew, but you don't sew. But your first thing you made was a quilt, wasn't it?
Yes.
Not like a cushion cover or something like that. You went full out to do a quilt for your very first
I used to make
project.
skirts quite a lot.
Yeah?
As a sort of teenager, I used to do that. My stepmom, she'd got a pattern and we could get a skirt. So it had a wide waistband, like a drop waist, and then it pleated out from the bottom. And we could get it out of like a certain amount of fabric.
Yeah.
It worked really well. It was a really easy pattern to do.
What was the last thing you made?
Sewed. What's the one that comes down? Roman blind?
A what?
Roman blind from a bedroom.
Roman blind. Oh, that's impressive.
Really nice cream fabric with sort of pink and red flowers on. Very very Laura Ashley-esque type fabric.
Yeah.
Really pretty.
Very nice.
Spare bedroom.
That sounds good.
It was all right until I washed it the first time. It's a little bit smaller now.
Because it all shrinks, doesn't it?
Perhaps I should have known that and given it a good wash before I did it. Because that's what they say, isn't it? Wash your fabrics first.
They do say that,
I didn't know that. It's a tad, not much. And it just at the bottom, because on your window you've got the frame. Yeah. It just sort of now sits
just above it.
Yeah, on that frame bit rather than on the windowsill. Which is a shame, but it's a spare room, and if we have somebody in there 8 days a year, that's it. Yeah. It's not used. Because most of the time, you see, they take my daughter's room downstairs, which is a much nicer room.
Well, that's all right then, isn't it?
Yeah, she gets put up there.
I think it's one of those things that it's finding the time to make stuff. I used to make loads of things, and I don't have the time anymore, and I also don't have the space to have a different project out. If I'm doing, if I'm doing sewing something for work, I'm not going to have space to have mannequin out and start doing some dressmaking and that kind of stuff. But every year I go, oh yeah, watch a bit of Sewing Bee, and I think, oh, I'm going to make my own clothes, and I buy a load of patterns. So I've bought some patterns to make my own underwear, which I thought I would give it a whirl, and I've basically looked at the pattern, and that's as far as I've got. Haven't got
My mum used to do a lot of sewing when she lived in the UK. Since she's been in France, she's not had the space yet, but the house is now built. So she's hoping to turn one of the bedrooms into a sewing room. She does lots, so I should know what I'm doing, because, like I say, my mum's taught me. She used to do baskets, and I've got a couple of little angels, stuff like, look a bit like doorstops. Yeah. They're gorgeous. Mum used to make me those, because we've got one of those that's in the fabric from a dress my daughter was a bridesmaid in.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's really nice.
Yeah, I have to say, I was looking at Lily's photos from her mum's wedding, and their dresses looked amazing. And Lily's just saying her mum made all the dresses.
Beautiful colour.
That's really impressive. Wow.
Oh, there you go. She made 2 bridesmaids' dress, the bride's dress, the baby's dress, and a waistcoat as well. Wow. As if she's not got enough to do organising a wedding. All the table decorations. Oh, the only thing she didn't do was the buffet.
Well, that seems,
I think we'll let her off that one.
She sounds a little bit lazy, not doing the buffet. I mean, I don't know. That's brilliant.
Well, Lily got her own buffet, so bless you.
Okay.
Are you the only one that's vegan then in your family? She got 3 desserts. Wow.
I think lots of people with vegan food, lots of people quite like the option, don't they? We went to, my friend's sister got married, and she's a vegetarian, but she said, I don't like vegetarian food as such. So basically, vegetarian food at the wedding was a very nice salad and really well-cooked, triple-cooked chips. And she said, so many people said, oh, can I have the vegetarian option? They were like, nope. They didn't say you were vegetarian beforehand. This is all for us. So, but I quite like the idea of chips and salad. No, really good. Very nice.
Do you know, when it was my husband's 60th birthday, I did him a surprise party. I was completely surprised. Even to walking into the pub, he didn't know he was going to his own party. Yeah, it was, yeah, he was blown away. And one of his friends, I was like, yeah, I'm putting food together, let me know. And a friend came back and said, oh, vegan, I'm gluten intolerant with a nut allergy. So I ordered, and I can't remember to this day what I organised. I think it had courgette and, I don't remember. And then he walked in, I went, don't worry, yours is organised. I'm not going to say his name. Yours is all organised. He said, I was winding you up.
Oh, no!
And I was so stressed in the run-up to the party. And he was joking.
Oh, that's terrible.
He said, I thought you would know. I was like, look, when you've got like 30 people coming in with menu choices, you haven't got time to wheedle out the jokes.
No. Yeah. Oh, that's awful.
I made him eat it. It's what's been ordered for him.
I imagine it was very nice.
Yeah. Shaddai says, Becky, my ma used to make us underwears when we were kids. We called them puff foot panties.
They sound like they were almost like pantaloons from that description.
They might have been a bit, yeah, there we go.
There's a woman that I follow on Instagram, she's called something like Evie Lovey or something like that. She makes her own underwear, and she sells everything on, all the patterns on Etsy. And they are beautiful. They're really, really nice looking underwear, like really wearable kind of underwear. So I thought, no, I'd give that a whirl. But it's just the time. You don't want to sew your own underwear? Do you want to make it out of paper instead, Lily?
Do you know what? After going and buying some new underwear the other week, and it was a matching set, and the price of the knickers to match the bra, I can totally understand why.
Yeah. And quite often, they're only bits of frippery, aren't they? Those bits of underwear that you can buy, they're really astronomically expensive.
Yeah.
Pricey. You're talking about allergy. I'm allergic to anything that grows on a tree. So I can eat berries, but I can't eat things like peaches, plums, pears, apples. And I can't eat nuts unless they are cooked. So I can eat the fruit if it's cooked, but I can't eat anything raw. So basically, I can't have anything on Christmas tree.
Is that linked to
Hay fever?
Hay fever?
Yeah, it's linked to hay fever.
Oh,
so I have.
Is it related to the something coming out of the stones of the pips and things like that? Because if it's working when it's cooked.
Yeah, I think it's to do with it's pectin, isn't it? That's in stones. So
yes.
But I don't think it's that. I think it's to do with. I think it's to do with tree proteins. Or proteins that are available you get in trees. That's why I have hay fever when the trees blossom, but I don't have it when there's grass spores. I can't eat avocados either. And you know, avocados everywhere. It's like an avocado fever here or everywhere. And when I went to this festival, my friends were like, "Oh, we're going to have these." And I was like, "They have avocado." And they said, "You can have something without avocado." And I said, "Look, I can't risk it. I can't risk buying something from, or getting something from this stand when nearly every single thing was avocado, in case there's a bit of contamination." And then, I mean, I'm not going to be really super ill, but I'd be really uncomfortable and very unattractive when blisters start appearing on my face. And then I wouldn't be able to come to work, and it's a whole thing. So I said, "Look, you go and have your healthy poke bowl with avocado, and I'll go over here and I'll get an ice cream." So I helped my friends by doing that.
You did.
That's what I reckon.
A question for our Lily in my ear. Daniel is saying, did you get some of the vegan Haribos? They were in the box in here. They were in the box. They were in the box. You ought to have eaten all of them.
I haven't eaten any of them, Lily. I'm just going to say, I haven't eaten any of them. I don't know. Yeah, there are vegan ones in there.
They must still be in there then. You can come and have a look. Yeah. This is going to be a long hour and a half. Really. Hour and a half.
And I have to say, it was so nice to have that big box of treats. That was really, really kind, Daniel. We're all saying thank you.
Lily's saying thank you too. She's coming in to have a look. Rachel said she told Ben to save the vegan ones for Lily. And Rachel's made organic bamboo undies, and they are so comfortable.
Oh. So, do
you know what? This conversation is not going where I thought it was going to go when we were talking about Holly. There we go. Really not.
Well, should we start the conversation we were going to start, Corrine?
I'll read these comments out and then we'll do that. So Sylv Sparkley says, "Hi everyone, watching while designing some new sew-in labels for her bags." Oh, there we go. I'm glad you're watching, Sylv. Marie Short says, "Hello, I'm loving the new soft crafting slots on a Saturday. Can't wait for my Christmas dies." I think these are the ones at the side of me, to arrive. Thank you so much for all your inspiration and clear tutorials. While you're poking, Becky, because you can talk and poke and do it at the same time.
I can talk and poke,
Shadaya says she bought the Chang's fabric elephants and tigers wall hanging kit.
Yeah.
You know exactly what she's talking about?
Yeah.
Do you know if there are any tutorials available for this project, please? And thanks.
No, there isn't. But you have a problem, then my phone number's on there. You can call me.
If you've got
drop
any problems,
me an email.
you may email Becky. There we go.
Call me.
That's brilliant.
It should be fairly easy for you to follow. But if you get confused or anything, just give me a call or drop me an email, and I'll help you out any way I can.
Rachel's saying we probably don't want her to send pictures in of her organic bamboo undies.
Not wearing it, no. Yeah. But I mean, you know.
Okay. Here we go. Sylv Sparkley has the same allergy, Becky.
Ah.
It used to be called silver birch syndrome.
Ah.
Did you know that?
No, I've not.
There you go, silver birch syndrome, as most people are also allergic to silver birch pollen.
Oh, that's really interesting. So my mum used to say to me, "Oh, you're just making it up. It's just because you don't want to eat, you want to eat chocolate rather than
an apple."
An apple. And but it started when I was like 19, so I didn't have it as a child, and it's progressively got worse, and I'm sure it's exacerbated by pollution. But that's really interesting, and I don't think there's any cure for it.
Have you tried immunisation therapy?
No, because you've done that with wasps,
I've done that with wasp stings, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't.
I don't know how successful it's been because I've not been stung since. No, we're not going to give it a go, Lily, thank you. Yeah, apparently I'm now immune to up to 2 wasps worth of sting.
Oh, okay.
But because my reaction was so bad, I don't flap around wasps. I've never flapped around wasps because I basically sat on one and it got me on my back. Not my bum, on my back. And yeah, so it doesn't make me flap and panic, but I've not tried an annoying one so that I get stung to find out.
No, I think I'd be with you on that. I wouldn't bother annoying them.
So I have EpiPens in my bag all the time.
We should have always known that, Corrine, really.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Charlotte. I've been immunised up to 2 because you never know if you're going to get stung by more than one at a time. And it also means that in theory then if I get stung by one, it really shouldn't bother me at all. Right, I'll let Becky tell you what she's doing.
So I've now got rid of all of the little perforations, all those little holes. So now we're going to start stitching these. Now what I'm going to do, I've just got some thread. So when you cut your thread, you want to cut your thread from the tip of your finger down to your elbow. You don't want it any longer than that when you're doing thread. And the embroidery thread is 6 strands. You want to divide that up into 3 strands. Now I have already put some on the needles because there's nothing more boring than watching me try. All right, Lily. It's horrible, and I've already I've got a few ready, so it shouldn't take too long to keep threading my needle. So I'm mixing up the different colours. So we've got various different colours. So these are little pieces that go in the middle of the large piece of felt, the large holly leaf. What we want to do is I want to stitch down the perforations in the middle, and we're going to create almost like a vein effect. I'm not going to stitch around here because it doesn't really need me to do that, and you don't want to watch me doing that because we'll never get the craft along finished. So we're just going to go up through the perforations. So obviously in the middle, the butt piece is a solid piece of fabric. I'm not going to put a knot in here. I'm just going to pull it almost to the end, and I'm going to fold that piece of thread over, and I'm going to hold it with my finger, and then when it stitches through, it will be held by all the other stitches. So we're going to do a back stitch. So you can just see I'm going through those perforations. I'm going to go up through this one and then down through this one here.
Sorry, did you say how many thicknesses is that thread?
This is 3 strands.
3 strands.
3 strands. We're going to do the same here. We're just going to continue like this, but now I've got to this one, I want to create those little veins. So I'm going to go up into this point here.
So on all of these holes are in the cut in already?
Yeah, all these perforations are here. So it makes it nice and easy. This is a great thing to do with kids actually, because provided they're okay with a sharp needle, you do need a sharp needle. You can't get away with kind of like a blunt, almost like a tapestry needle. You do need something a little bit more pointed than that. You can see I'm just creating those little veins on the holly.
Good for coordination for children as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, even if, my father-in-law had a little operation on his wrist, and they said to do a little bit of sort of fine motor skills. And I said, oh, I could give you something you could sew. And he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go and play golf. And I was like, I'm not entirely sure that's fine motor skills, but actually this would be quite a good kind of thing to do. And this is, they're small enough, you could do this on the plane, on holiday, because I'm going on holiday next week.
Are you? When do you go on there?
I'm going on next Saturday rather.
Don't go Sunday, you'll have missed your flight.
Yeah, I don't want to go on Sunday. And I get into Mallorca at the time of a big festival and a big beach party.
Oh, perfect.
I was like, that's lovely, but I'm going to be going to bed. I'm not going to be going to the beach and drinking till 1 o'clock in the morning.
The children will, though, won't they?
The children will. They have a lovely time. Okay, so we've done that first one. So we're just going to finish that off. I'm just going to loop my thread through the back, pull it, and then I'm going to cut that off.
And are you using different coloured threads? Because I'm looking at that one that's there on the board. That green won't show up on it as much, will it?
Yeah, I've got 2 different colour threads here. So I've got a darker green as well. So I'm just going to mix and match them as I go along. So this is what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be doing the same with all of these. Now there are 2 smaller pieces that are separate. We're going to have those just to one side. I'm going to stitch those just on their own, those kind of veins on there, but we're going to have them as separate pieces here. So we're going to stitch down here in exactly the same way. So I'm not doing a knot, I'm just holding that piece of the end of the thread there and pull that across like that. And then next one here. Stitching through all those little perforations, just make it nice and easy for you to follow what you're doing.
Becky, a couple of questions whilst you're sewing.
Yeah.
Please tell me to shut up if you need to explain anything. Lillian says, Becky, do you need to poke the bits out of the holly because they'd come out when you push the needle through? Oh, I can see you frowning.
Well, I think it's quite good to poke them out so you can actually properly see what you're doing. You could get away with it, but sometimes it can be a little bit messy. I've tried doing it like that and it seemed to be a bit of a false economy. It's up to you if you wanted to do it like that. I think it's better to work. My mum would laugh. It's almost like working clean, as it were. Mm. I'm not using every hole, you're right, Charlotte. But if I was doing this at home, I probably would. So whilst you're doing the veins here, around the edge, you've got some more holes. Yeah. I'm not stitching that bit just purely because of the time, and there's only so much hand stitching anyone wants to see. But if you were doing that at home, perhaps you'd stitch the whole thing and make sure you've got all of those little perforations. But
you could have brought Lillian to sit beside you and she'd do some more hand stitching for you. She likes hand stitching.
Do you? Oh.
There you go.
What kind of thing do you hand sew, Lily?
Oh, she used to do felt items.
Oh, yeah.
Decorations and things. Oh, she likes doing applique on cushions. What's the thing you used to do as children with the large open holes?
What do you mean?
Aida.
Oh, yes, you used to be doing like a really big cross stitch kind of thing, yes. Didn't you? You used to do like a table mat kind of.
Yeah, of course you used to do. And then you'd frayed the edges.
Yeah, I used to
we used to do those all the way. And then Laurie says it would be fun to add some beads or sequins for accent while stitching.
Oh, that's a good idea, yeah.
Oh, I like the idea of that.
Yeah,
metallic threads would also
be that would work really well.
Lily.
Absolutely. Lots and lots of options there.
Charlotte, in the gallery, do you hand sew? She was hand sewing her jeans.
You're hand sewing your jeans, and that is quite a big job.
Oh dear, it came away and she had to do it again.
Have you got the right needles? You need denim needles for that because it's tough fabric to stitch. But yeah, they're quite difficult. I'd struggle to hand sew anything to do with denim.
I like the thought they were putting sequins and beads on while you're stitching.
Me too. I love that idea. I do like a little bit of glittery thread as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I bet you've got a lot of threads.
I have. We were saying about ribbons. I have boxes of thread.
Yes.
Boxes of embroidery thread.
My mum has boxes of embroidery threads.
Yeah. But you can never find exactly the right colour you're looking for. So you always have to go out and go buy a bit more.
Yeah. She used to cross-stitch or embroider cross-stitch pictures for all the children when they were first born.
Oh, that's
nice. Got them all framed. Yeah. Oh,
I like a bit cross-stitch. It's quite nice.
I've had a cross-stitch on for about 20 years. It's been in a bag for most of that 20 years, yeah. Brilliant to do when you're visiting somebody in hospital because you can just take it all in a little bag. Hand sewing is quite good like that. So personal, isn't it?
And I think it's one of those things that I always have these great intentions that I'm going to go on holiday and I'm going to sit on the beach and I'm going to hand sew something, and I find that the lure of a pina colada is bigger than the lure of me doing a bit of. I could drink and sew, but I think that would be a mistake.
Yes.
For me to drink and sew.
Frances Hampton says, hello ladies, enjoying this chilling time. Could flower foam be used to cut the holly?
Oh, that's a nice idea.
You can still stitch it.
Yeah, because you could still stitch it. I wouldn't cut the perforated bits.
You wouldn't?
No, because why? You could just use it as flower forming foam dies, couldn't you? So you could just, we don't. Do we have a holly shape? Yeah, you could absolutely do that. That's a good idea.
If you've got some, I mean, flat forming foam would look lovely, but if you wanted to stitch in it, you could just get some chunkier foam, couldn't you? And that would work because it's multimedia dyes.
Yeah.
So go through it, no problem.
Yeah, that would be a good option.
We say these multimedia dyes so you can use them for all sorts. So it's.
And, you know, cutting them out of card and then stitching them like we've done with our embroidery. We've got those embroidery frame dies anyway. You know, that's a nice option.
You are
can use
those new.
You can, rather than using embroidery thread, you can use like it's almost like a metallic or metally plastic thread, which is quite nice to use. But it's much finer than this embroidery thread. That might be a nice option. So we're doing the last one here. So again, just the same thing. We're not putting a knot in it. We're just folding a little bit of thread over and holding it with my fingers. And then I'm just stitching through. I'm just doing a back stitch through the middle parts to create the veins.
Yes, that's a back stitch, not a running stitch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. A running stitch is literally in out straight line.
Yeah,
isn't it?
so you've got sort of negative and positive bits of it, whereas this is just like a solid line.
Yeah.
So what Corrine and I were talking this morning, and we were saying, you know, we would, because obviously there's a bit of hand stitching here, we'd have to have a little chat about something. And I looked up, and it is actually National or International Skinny Dipping Day. And I said, that is something I have never done. I have never been interested in doing. Corrine, have you done it?
Nope.
No? In the gallery?
Yes.
Charlotte.
Yes says one and no says the other.
One person has, one person hasn't. It's never been something I've been interested in. I remember mentioning it to somebody at my children's school, and the mum was absolutely aghast that I'd never done skinny dipping. And she was like, well, why? And I was like, oh, I just feel really uncomfortable. And she said, don't you wander around your house naked? And I was like, no. And she said she always does, like in front of her kids as well. She's always wandered around naked. And I was like, that's just, no, even when there's no one in the house, I've still got a towel around me just in case there's, you know, someone got their binoculars trained on my window or something.
Windows, even the glass in your door is only just frosted.
Yeah, no.
Lily said you couldn't do it. Yeah, you're sort of got flats all around you, Lily. You don't have a lot of... Yeah, with the nursery opposite, Lily, you could get into a lot of trouble.
You could get into a lot of trouble. Keep close on. The question we wanted to ask you is there anything that you haven't done that everybody else does do and thinks are quite normal?
Or everybody else appears to do.
Yeah. So I didn't buy a pair of jeans, or I didn't own a pair of jeans until I was 22, which most people think is a bit weird. So that's my weird one. Anything that you do or you don't do that everyone else does?
I don't know. That is quite hard, isn't it?
So Debbie Fisher doesn't drink hot drinks.
Pardon?
Debbie Fisher doesn't drink hot drinks.
She doesn't, no.
Which I think is quite unusual.
My daughter doesn't, my eldest daughter.
Really?
Occasionally has a hot chocolate, but that's it.
I think that's quite odd.
Oh, our Charlotte hadn't been to McDonald's till she was 17.
Oh my goodness.
I was probably a similar age to Charlotte, but that's because I'm a different generation.
Why was that, Charlotte? Why did you not go to...
She wasn't aware of it and her parents just never took her.
Wow, that's quite impressive.
Oh, Lily was allowed to go once a year. Lily doesn't drink. That's...
I don't drink very much at all. I mean, I probably have like 2 units of alcohol every couple of months, I suppose. Something like that. I don't drink very much.
Unless you go out for a party like you did.
Yeah, no, when there's sort of a thing on. But I mean, apart from that, I hadn't had anything to drink since sort of before Christmas or before New Year, really. I think I'm not a big drinker.
What about at your niece's wedding?
Oh yeah, I did have a drink then. All right, all right. Yeah, there might be 1 or 2. I didn't have very much though. I don't think. Yeah, I've only had a glass. I had a glass of champagne and a glass of wine.
There you go.
I think then. But yeah, I'm not a big drinker. But yeah, so we have to find out what people... Is there anything that you don't do that everyone else does do? Or is there something that you do that nobody... There's a do there.
Oh, you do
that nobody else seems to do.
Rachel's just put, I'm not confirming or denying. I think that's about skinny dipping.
Ah.
Lots of laughing faces. There we go. Oh, Rachel. There we go. It's very freeing, says Charlotte.
Yeah,
I was telling these earlier that I was once on a beach in Corfu and it was late at night and I was sat there watching, can't say sunset because it was one beyond that, and a man came running up ready to go skinny dipping and ran into one of those solid sun umbrellas, those really rigid, you know, they're like metal frames,
Yeah.
and knocked himself out. There we go. Yeah. That
that
was
is brilliant.
quite funny at the time, especially as we'd been out all night at this point.
That must have been hilarious.
Yeah.
Can you imagine in the morning, the people setting up the beach in the morning, just find this man completely naked, passed out,
Yeah.
with a really big bruise on his head. That's awful.
I was only 17 at the time. It was, yeah, the thoughts were just, it was funny. A couple of years ago. Shadaya says, I love hand sewing. Every girl at our all-girls school were taught by the nuns to hand sew, so it was embedded in me. We made our own handkerchiefs. My dad never bought one. We sewed them for him, and also my brothers.
Oh.
I don't know to tell you, my granny my dad's mum used to get really cross when he had his shirts untucked. So she sewed lace to the bottom of all his school shirts. I kid you not.
That is genius.
Yeah, and by sewing lace to the bottom of all his school shirts, he wouldn't wear them untucked.
That is brilliant.
There you
Oh,
go.
that is really, really good.
That was just an inkling into my granny. Zoe Carver says, I can cross-stitch but can't sew by hand or machine. Not sure what that's all about. Cross-stitch? I suppose cross-stitch, is it a bit more uniform? You've got almost like a grid-ish.
Yeah, you do. And that makes, I think that's quite good actually when you've got that kind of grid to follow. It makes it nice and easy.
Tess says, I don't eat fast food like McDonald's. I also don't eat Oreos or M&Ms because of all the chemical products. There you go. There we are.
Oh, okay.
Right, okay. So we're just going to have a quick little break while we have a look here. So we just wanted to show you the brand new launch we've got today. These are our multi-craft festive dies. Now they are all individuals. I know a couple of you have messaged saying where is the bundle, but we don't have a bundle. We have launched these as individuals so that you can make your own bundle. But then we're going to let you use your code SUMMER to get £5 off one. So you're making it a better value. Now, all of them are $9.99 each or $12.95 as your today's price. But then your platinum price is $7.99 or $10.36. So the price is the same, so it's not going to change. It's just a little bit at the top that's going to change. So the first one we're going to look at is the penguin, and you're going to get 8 dies here. This is the most popular one today. You can see you've got the outside, you've got the inner body, you've got the bit that's going to create his body here, you've got the apertures, you've got a nose, and you've got some feet as well. So there you go, that's the first one. Next one is our gingerbread man. You've seen him be used today. He is gorgeous. Now I was, yeah, you see, they've put that there making it look like eyes. I think you could use those as eyes as well. And you could also have them as the buttons down his tummy, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
That would look lovely instead of, if you're using it solid rather than having it, that way around as with an aperture. You're getting 10 dies in total, exactly the same price. The next one is the Christmas tree, and you're going to have the star aperture. We were saying, but within reason, some of them, you're going to be able to swap the apertures around if you wanted to. But I think actually they've sussed out the apertures really, really well. So like this one, star to match the star on the top, you know, it works really well. So you're getting 11 dies in total on here. And the final one is our snowman, and you loved our snowman when we showed you him earlier. Again, you can use them in whichever way you want. I think these are going to make lovely tags for Christmas, on your presents, or however you wanted to do them. 8 dies in each one. Good call. And because you've got that lovely outside die, you're going to be able to make your tent fold cards, your easel cards, whichever you want. Now, remember, all of these are $9.99, $12.95. Your platinum price is $7.99. or $10.36. Now, if you want to get those, don't forget to use your code SUMMER if you've not already used it, because it expires tomorrow and it's going to get you £5 off. While you check out your baskets, we're just going to do a quick VT and then we'll come back to Becky to see where we're getting on to with our craft along.
Join us for our Crafting Christmas event. We've got more festive fun lined up than old St Nick himself, including 12 brand new launches, double points on every purchase, and a free gift on selected orders. Make sure you join us on Crafters TV from the 9th till the 16th of July for all this festive fun, and find out more on the Crafters Companion website.
If you love Crafters TV, we've made it easy for you to watch us wherever you are. Whether you catch us on your tablets or take us with you on your mobile phone, it's easy to watch us anywhere. From here to here. Maybe don't watch us here. It would be easy to watch us here. Probably the easiest place to watch us is here. Crafters TV, with you wherever you are. Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get your hands on the latest crafty must-haves. Leave the hard work to us while you shop from the comforts of your own living room. Head to the Crafters Companion website to see our full crafty range, or hit the Shop the Day button to see all the new and exciting products featuring on Crafters TV. Once you've filled your cart, leave it to us to get your crafty goodies to you in super quick time, so you can get on with being creative. Crafters Companion, making crafty shopping a breeze.
What makes Crafters TV so special is you guys.
It's really special because the experts are really experts. They're really skilled at what they do, and they want to make sure that the audience also improves on their skills.
Crafters TV is so special because you've got together a really sort of key group of people and people that are very passionate about the product.
Crafters TV is so special because it's a unique community that we have with each other, where we can learn and grow and communicate with each other.
Community, the family spirit, the education, everything to do with craft. We are all like-minded people who share a passion.
I love all the inspiration the demonstrators bring and all the knowledge for us out here.
What makes Crafters TV so special? 100% it's the interaction. No other crafting TV channel or show has the same interaction.
I love the community, I love chatting live, I think that's the best part, and it's gone beyond crafting because we've become friends.
It feels to me to be a really, really close relationship with our customers and viewers.
You guys make us feel like we're part of your family. I've never been on the show before, but one of my friends who I did meet from CCTV encouraged me, and I was on the craft along.
Massive team of people, and I think they've all got their role to play, and it just brings everything together. It allows us to do our job and just love it.
The people, obviously. The people not just here at Crafters Companion, but the viewers that watch us. I mean, everybody. We have this real magical essence about it.
Bye for now. Bye.
Hello and welcome back. Right, now, details are on the screen of everything that you will need for today's craft along. You have got your cut and stitch Christmas dies, which apparently Laurie says, the only comment I haven't read yet, I'd love some of these dies in fall, Halloween or Thanksgiving shapes too. There you go. Oh, now, does she mean these or does she mean those? I think she means those. I think she means those. But these would work too.
They'd be really good as Halloween things, wouldn't they? Because then you could give them to the children when they come trick-or-treating with the treat inside them.
Yeah, well that would work, wouldn't it?
They'd be disappointed they're only getting one chocolate.
Yeah, I'm reading the comment wrong. Anyway, this is going to give you 4 of your cut and stitch. You've got your Christmas lights and holly, you've got your Santa Claus, you've got your reindeer, and you've also got your snowman as well. And then you're going to get your 14 sheets of your felt in these lovely colours. That's going to work, so you can see straight away, you've got your whites and blacks for your snowman, you've got your reds for Santa, you've got your greens for your holly, you've got your reindeer colours. It's a really well thought out bundle is this. It's going to work so well. Now that is £39.96 or £51.80. You're effectively getting the felt $14.99 or $16.99 for free within the bundle. The most important price is this one down here. If you are platinum, £31.97 or $41.44. But please, if you're not going to be buying anything before tomorrow, don't forget to use your code SUMMER today, because it's a one-time only use and it expires tomorrow. Right, I'm caught up on the comments, so I'm going to throw back to Becky.
Okay, right, we're now in a position to start putting the decorations onto our table mat. So we've got a piece of cream coloured cotton. Now this is 15.5 inches by 10.5 inches, and I've got two pieces here. I've just put some spray adhesive and I've adhered them two pieces together. Now the reason I've done this is because this cotton fabric is quite thin and you could see through it, and I wanted to make sure that I sort of stuck it together. So I used our stick and stay. No, stick and stay has red lids, that's paper. It's the one with the orange lid. So it's stick and stay for fabric. So that one is, you just need to give it an iron to sort of melt the glue to make it adhesive. So that's been stuck together. If you used a different fabric, which is a little bit thicker, you wouldn't need to do that, but I just felt you needed a bit more substance to it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of brown ribbon, and I'm going to use this effectively almost like the kind of tree part of the holly, and I want it positioned around about 4 inches-ish, I think, 4 inches from the edge. I'm just trying to measure it up, around about here. So
your mat's brilliant for making sure it's straight, isn't it?
Yeah, really handy. So I'm just going to pin that here. Ideally, I would want to use my brown thread to put it together, but I'm not going to today. I'm just going to use my cream thread or my white thread. And I just want to stitch all the way down here to secure that in place.
Just put on the screen your bundle that we were doing. This is your weekend wonder. Don't forget, it's going to get you double points. It is your fabric cutter with carry bag, which look absolutely brilliant, and the A2 mat that you can see Becky working on today, you're going to get for free within the bundle. So £79.98 or £112.94 before your platinum discount is the price. And don't forget that carry bag that you've all been after. It's been out of stock for a whole year.
So we're just going to stitch along here.
Do you say you're doing it with a brown thread, or you would?
I haven't got any brown thread. No, it takes too long to change it. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's better in a way because you can then see what I'm actually doing. But I mean, you'd want to use a bit of brown thread.
If you were at home, all things being equal, and there was nothing in your way, would you have done it in brown thread?
Absolutely, yeah.
There you go. That's the answer.
Well, to be honest, on my sample, I didn't have any brown thread, so it's actually navy blue. But it's dark anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So there we go. We've got that here. We're just going to trim this off at the top, because that's going to be hidden later. Oh, Lily's thought of something for our question.
Yeah. She's never snoozed an alarm in her life.
Really?
Ever.
Oh my goodness.
What, do you jump out of bed when the alarm goes, or once it's gone, do you stay awake enough not to need another alarm? She gets up straight away. Apart from this morning, she didn't, but normally.
Lily,
you didn't
that
need
is
another
impressive.
alarm. You're awake enough that you didn't need another alarm.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Oh. So, Lily, on your phone, when it comes to alarms, is it like mine, where these are my alarms
down here? Your phone is on
down
camera,
here?
so be careful.
Huh?
Your phone is on the camera.
Yeah, you can see, look, those are all my alarms. No. Oh my goodness, that's impressive.
Oh, she takes all the alarms off that she's finished with.
Wow. But sometimes I think, oh, I need an alarm at 12:23.
Oh, and she doesn't do random numbers either. Zeros and fives.
Oh, no,
only.
I like mine random. Yeah.
It would make her ill, apparently.
This is
It's
funny.
made me think, what have I got?
That's impressive, Lily. I like that. I'm just laying everything out now, and so I know roughly where I'm going to be putting it all. Normally, when I get to this stage, I take a photograph with my phone, so I know how I'm going to lie that out. But I'm not going to worry about that now because I don't need to do that. But I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to pin it in place, and then I'm just going to start stitching it. So I'm just going to pin through here, and then I'm going to stitch around the edge to secure it in place.
I've got 41 alarms on my phone.
41?
Yeah. I've got one for 8:29. Why 8:29? Why was everyone else of my alarms are like Lily in round fives, but the very last one is 20:29. I wonder why I did 29 minutes past, not 30. Oh, I've got. Oh, sorry, I'd tell a lie. I've got 18:23 as well. Those are the only two.
Oh, no,
but you don't only have an alarm to get out of bed.
No, sometimes they remind me to do things.
So yesterday, my 4 p.m. alarm yesterday was to stop sunbathing. So I was sitting out in the sun, and I knew I might have fallen asleep if I was. I didn't, but I might have done. So I set an alarm. There we go. So yeah. So that's why I've got lots, because they're not just my alarms aren't just for getting up. So mine start at 3:45 in the morning. 3:45, 4, 4:15, 4:30, 4:45, 5, 5:15. Oh, they go all the way. 5:30, 5:45, 6. Yeah, all every 15 minutes.
I think that is the type of person that you are. It doesn't really shows the kind of person. I like to snooze. I quite often get really confused and I end up switching off the alarm when I'm snoozing. So that is always a little bit of a disaster. But I do like to snooze, and I do have a nap in the afternoon.
So do you put an alarm on when you have a nap?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you put an alarm or a timer?
It depends on how long I'm having my nap for. My optimum napping time is 45 minutes. So I will set my alarm for 48 minutes to allow me a couple of minutes to fall asleep. And then I get my 45 minutes. So I'm going to change needles because I'm not happy with that needle.
Shadaya says, I do not use alarms, they give me a headache.
Oh,
How do you wake up then? I don't know, I'd be scared. Rachel's got 10 on hers, and they all have the snooze setting on. Mm-hmm. There you go. And so, I'll do them like, if I was here and I knew I was coming, we've got a show at 2 o'clock, I might put an alarm on for 1:45. So that
to remind you to come into the studio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you're busy working, doing something.
Yeah.
I use alarms a lot when I'm prepping and I've got something cooking in the oven. Yeah, but I get carried away, Lily. It's no good just looking at your watch. Because if I'm downstairs cooking, I use Alexa a lot, yes. Yeah. And Eve B says, Becky, we share the same alarm pattern.
Ah, good. I think that's the best alarm pattern.
Yeah.
But from next week I won't have my alarm on at all. Do you know why?
Why is that? Why are you not having an alarm for next week? Is it broken?
Yeah, it's broken. Oh dear. That makes me laugh.
Well, Lily's got another one. Lily's got 1 clock in the house and it's her alarm clock.
I don't think I've got a clock in.
A watch.
Yeah,
I've got a clock in. No, it's now an Alexa in the bedroom. Until very recently, it was an alarm clock. Now it's an Alexa in there type thing. One of those ball things. And then we've got a clock in the living room, a massive clock in the kitchen. I have a big clock in the kitchen because I've got a high ceiling. So I've got a big clock. And that's it. Yeah, that's all the clocks. And then everything else, it's phones or watches.
I don't think we've got any clocks in the house.
Haven't you?
No. No, I've got so if you're working, you'll have your phone with you, or you have your watch on, or computer. Yeah. I don't think I have. And then, obviously you've got clocks on the ovens at home.
No, I haven't got one. I've got one on the microwave.
But they're all wrong because we had a power cut, so everything's completely out of kilter. And I don't even want to attempt trying to get them all at the same time, because you need someone else with you to set the timer at the same time, otherwise they're all out. So yeah. Funny, isn't it, how people are?
Yeah.
Right, so we're just stitching around this outside.
So you're now using the outer stitches, and what are you doing, a running stitch, or are you doing a back stitch again?
No, back stitch again, so just stitching through all of this. And because, we've got this is going to look a little bit messy on the back, that doesn't matter because we're going to put some other fabric on the back. So we're going to do that binding around the edge. Only thing is, I've chosen a needle that's a little bit thin, a little bit weedy. It's a weedy needle, which isn't ideal. I want something a little bit stronger, a little bit stiffer going through this.
Because you're going through your 2 layers of cotton with adhesive, and then you're going through your felt as well, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, you're not going through the felt because the felt's got perforations, so you only go through the fabric. But it's a bit of a small. I've got big sausage fingers. It's a bit of a weedy needle. I'm going to change it to a different one in a minute. I stitched all the way around here, and this is what we're going to do with all of these. And then once we've stitched all of the these together, we're then going to stitch the little pieces of what are they called, holly berries together.
Yeah.
And around. Now in the rainbow felt pack, you don't have a true red. We don't have a red, so I'm using an actual fuchsia pink, which I thought will actually look quite nice. It makes the berries look like they're glistening.
Oh, that's nice.
But, obviously, you can use whatever thread you wanted to. Some iridescent thread might be quite nice.
You've really started the questions now. So Sylv Sparkley says, I either get up straight away or occasionally sleep right through my alarm, even though it repeats every few minutes for an hour. That's my husband. He can sleep through an alarm, no problem. Absolutely no problem.
When your children were young, did you wake up when they woke up? If they had a bad dream or something like that?
Sometimes, yeah. But our son learned very quickly to get round to my hubby's side of the bed to get in, because he'd let him in whilst asleep.
Yeah.
Whereas if he got onto my side of the bed, I'd walk him back to his bed really quickly.
So I remember being on holiday with the kids, they were quite young, and my husband went, oh, you're sleeping on the other side of the bed, you're not your normal side of the bed. And I said, it's not about being on the right side of the bed, it's being on the side of the bed that's furthest away from the door. So when the children come in the middle of the night going, I need to go to the toilet, I'm not there. And the kids have always remembered that I sleep furthest from the door.
I sleep nearest to the door, actually, and nearest to where their bedrooms were, yeah.
That shows you're a good mummy and I was a selfish mummy.
No, there were times when I am asleep. I am asleep. Trisha Love says, I have clocks in every room, including her bathroom.
Oh, okay.
And Sandy Kessler says, 2 alarms, 1 for the wake-up call and 1 for work.
No, that's quite a good idea, to make sure you're out of the house in enough time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lily's not sure about a clock in the bathroom. Do you have a watch on your wrist though when you're in the bathroom, so it's no different? She's not sure about that.
You're not happy about that, Lily?
Charlotte's never in the bathroom apparently long enough to need a clock.
So one of the things that I don't do is I look at my face when I put my makeup on in the morning, and I might look at my face here before we go back on air to put a bit of lipstick on. But other than that, I don't look at myself at all. I won't look at my face at all for the rest of the day. Even if I go into like a bathroom and then there's a mirror, I don't look at myself.
So you don't look at yourself, like where we stay, there's a mirror at the bottom of the stairs?
No, never look
So
in
every
that.
time you come down, you don't look in that?
No, I might look and see what how fat my legs look in whatever I'm wearing.
Well,
but I
because your
don't
legs
look at
come
my
into
face.
view first on that mirror, don't they?
Yeah. Well, with the mirror we have in the green room here, all we can see is our tummies.
Yes.
Because that's all no, it's not very nice. I don't like it at all. But yeah, I don't ever look at my face. The first thing in the morning when I put my makeup on, if I don't put my makeup on, I don't even look at it. So I've got no idea what my face looks like.
Wow. You look lovely on it, but yeah.
My friend said to me, oh, don't you redo your makeup every couple of hours? I was like, no, don't do that.
No, I have to admit my makeup, I might, when I'm here, put a little bit extra lippy on between shows, but other than that, I don't tend to touch my makeup all day. What about when you're at the hairdressers?
I look at the hairdresser. I don't look at myself, no. I know what I look like.
You know what you look like, yeah?
Yeah, I know what I look like. So no, I don't. And I'm normally either chatting, or I might be working. So actually, when I went to the hairdressers this week, I was sewing. So I was making up some of the demos, and loads of people came and were like, "What is that?" Well, if you tune in to Crafters TV, you'll be able to see exactly what that is. So that was quite amusing.
Yeah. I don't think I tend to craft out of the house.
Do you not?
Very often, no.
Lily, I bet you if you could run and craft at the same time, you'd do it, wouldn't you?
She's trying to work out, apparently, how she can craft and run at the same time. She does her abs workout and crafts at the same time.
That's
Only
incredible.
certain exercise.
Right.
Fussy cutting whilst doing her abs workout. I just can't imagine that. It is possible, apparently.
That is particularly impressive, actually. You are.
Something a lot of people do that you don't do, Becky, run.
All right.
You said you don't run.
I don't run,
I used to run. I
think running's dangerous. Unless you're running towards chocolate or running away from a grizzly bear, there's no reason to run. Sorry, Lily, you fell over.
Oh, there you go. Lily chipped her 2 front teeth out running, so just proves it's a dangerous sport.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. That's bad. I didn't know that, Lily. That's awful. Yeah, well, you've convinced me. I'm not going for a run. Right. I can imagine it cost a fortune. Dentistry is not cheap. Right. So I'm just going to spit. I want a bit more thread. Spitting that.
Lillian Kwok says, I had my hair cut on Monday, first time in over 2 years, because she hates seeing herself in the mirror.
Oh
no, I'm sure you look absolutely lovely, Lillian. That's really... But I hope your haircut's nice. Did you have a lot cut off? So it's going back to being locked down, isn't it? I don't think my husband had his hair cut for like 18 months, 2 years. He has long hair anyway. There we go. So my husband's hair got really long.
He's got long hair anyway.
Yeah, but it got really long during the lockdown.
He's like that song.
His hair was nearly probably as long as mine is now, if not longer when I met him. That's what I saw first.
What's the song? The long-haired lover from Liverpool.
Yeah, he's not from Liverpool.
Long-haired lover from Liverpool. Something like that. I've got no idea who sings that.
Donny Osmond? I
don't know. Somebody will know. Let us know. Right, I've changed to a thicker needle, a stronger needle. This will be easier, she says. All right.
So you've just now come to the opposite side of
the and
branch.
actually, I was thinking about it. How does holly grow? And I don't actually know. I've never properly looked at it.
Holly bush.
Yeah. This is a holly, but I think you do get stems of holly as well.
You definitely get stems, yeah.
But I don't know if they're...
The hedge at the end of our street's holly.
Are they alternating? I don't know. But this is what I'm doing, so this is special holly. Special.
It's the artistic licence. We're all allowed artistic licence in our craft.
Exactly. So this is a little bit easier with a slightly stronger needle.
It does look a little bit easier.
Yeah, the other one was just a little bit, it was a little bit thin, and it was bending a little when I sewed. But I found it quite difficult to find the needles that really work for me. Like this.
So when you find needles that you like, do you buy lots of packs of them?
Yeah, there's a company that I knew a lady who worked for them, and she I used to see her a lot at craft fairs, so we used to be often quite close to each other. And they come in like a little, almost like a pebble, plastic sort of holder, and they're really good because they're quite long and strong, but with a fairly big, but nice and sharp. So that's.
I've got some needles that probably weren't that expensive, and I know what you mean about being short and too thin.
Well, they've all got their places, because you use those sort of short ones for doing sort of hand quilting and things like that. But for things like this, when you're doing, embroidery.
But I've seen you're actually sewing differently now. You're now actually doing it more. You're going down through one hole and up through not the next one after. I'm watching you.
Yeah,
so you're actually going a lot quicker now.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And this is
because you're almost doing your back stitch and the next running stitch in one go, aren't you?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier like this. Put them all together.
Just shows it's the right tools for the right job. If you've got the right tools for the right job, life is a lot easier, isn't it?
Absolutely. So Lily's talking about a Wi-Fi oven in Sue. Well, my husband, we nearly bought a new washing machine, no, new dishwasher. A dishwasher stopped working. We were getting someone to have a look at it. We thought we might have to buy a new one. And you get a Wi-Fi enabled dishwasher. I was like, why would I want to do that?
Do you remember Martin that we used to work with?
Yeah.
He's got a Wi-Fi kettle. So I said, well, who fills it up? So you make your cup of coffee. You have to then refill the kettle and walk away. And then when you want your next cup of coffee, you can use your Wi-Fi to turn it on.
That's just silly. I've got a tap. So there's always hot
boiling
water.
tap.
Yeah. I think that would be that's a much better idea than having a Wi-Fi kettle.
Yes.
No. What happens if you do, like you say, you switch it on and you've not got any water in there, and then it's a bit of a fire hazard.
It'll go bang.
You're only supposed to
refill yours when you've used it.
You're only supposed to put in
what you
cup's
need
worth, aren't you? Oh, Lily, you're so organised.
Oh. Lillian, who didn't like having her hair cut, she said she just doesn't like looking. I just want to get out of the chair and run home. But she had over 6 inches cut off, a huge pile on the floor. Yeah, that's not quite long enough to give away for wig making, is it? I don't think. I think it's like 12 inches or something like that.
They don't want mine.
And she also says her washing machine is Wi-Fi enabled.
So I suppose
that means why, this isn't just total curiosity, Lily, why do you need your machine Wi-Fi enabled? What does it
I suppose it's then you can just set it to go, can't you? Whereas when
you've still got to go to the machine and put the stuff in and the soap powder.
Yeah, and most machines have got a delay, a timer on them, don't they? So you can set it. So I tend to set up my washing machine before I go to bed, and I set it to run at a sensible time in the morning, so I'm not waking everybody up in the street.
And it's just finished when you get up ready to empty it. That's what I do. But I suppose it does that. Lily does hers on a Friday evening when you get in. If I did that, Lily, I'd still be washing at 4 o'clock on Saturday morning.
Okay, right, we're going to do a few more. So we've got some more to put in place. So we're going to have one down here, and we have a small one. Not that one. No. That one. And then that one, like that, I think. Something along those lines. So I'm just going to find a decent needle again. Oh no, have I lost that needle I was using? No, so I don't. Shh, it's okay.
You found it. Do you ever use a needle threader?
Yes, and I've broken a couple. I don't really get on with them. I should just, I just need to, if I've got my glasses on, it's not so bad.
I like those really cheap ones you get in sewing kits.
Yeah, they always fall apart though.
I know they do, but they're really good. Just for however long they last.
I did have one of those, and it just fell apart. I'm a bit heavy-handed with everything. So I'm just going to sew one of these little ones now, in exactly the same way. So just like that. But yeah, I mean, needle threaders, I think somebody was saying they've got a trick with a toothbrush that works quite well. So
I've heard of that. You lay your thread over the toothbrush bristles, and then you just...
Yeah, I can't make that work.
No. You put your needle over the top and press down, and it supposedly threads it, but I've not ever seen any YouTube videos or anything to see how it's done. Be interested. I'm assuming that one of the prongs of your toothbrush pushes the thread through the hole.
Yeah, but I mean, I think if you've got a single thread, then that's probably okay. But if you're doing something like this, where you've got multiple threads in it because it's an embroidery thread, it's probably a little bit harder. If you're just using like a cotton or polyester thread, you know, like if you're a sewing machine or something like that, then maybe that's okay. I don't know. I did try something similar. It didn't work for me. It's just a question of finding something with an eye big enough for you to be able to thread through easily. Yeah, so like this, just carrying on. Oh, the other thing I was going to ask was, has anyone got any recommendations for shows I should go and see? So when I was travelling yesterday, so I obviously travelled through on the tube to the other side of London, and then you're going through all the tube stations, and they always have all the advertising hoardings going up the escalators for theatre tickets. And there was a show called The Pillow Man, which is about, I think it's about a murder, and it's got Lily Allen in it.
Has it?
Yeah, yeah. And in fact, I thought about her the other day because I was thinking, where is she? Well, she's just disappeared, but she's obviously doing theatre. So I wondered whether anyone had any recommendations for shows to go and see, or if anyone had seen it and could recommend it. The critics panned it apparently, but all the individual people that have seen it said it's actually really good. So ignore the critics and just go anyway. But I do like to go to those.
You've got to make your own mind up, haven't you?
Yeah. I don't read reviews really, because it's I want to go and see something that's got some good acting in it, and you know, a decent story. But you know, sometimes things that are you know, not being critically acclaimed are better than others. I've never been interested in going to see Hamilton, and I know everyone raves about it, but it just doesn't appeal to me.
Jessamy put it on for me to watch on the TV, and I was, within about 15 minutes, I was confused.
Really?
Because they jump in time, but don't give you any indication that they're jumping in time. And I'm suddenly going, but what's happened here? You know, it's like, hello, I'm your new girlfriend. Oh, look, we're now married and having children. And I was like, where did that happen? You know? You know, then sort of, I don't know, there was something I thought at one point they'd just met and then they'd got children that were like 12 years old. It was something bizarre like that.
Okay.
I just got completely confused. I said, where did those children come from? And Jess was going, but it's just time lapse.
Yeah.
Almost. I don't know. Oh, here you go. Have you ever tried this? Sil Sparkly says, keep a glass of water next to you. Dip the eye of the needle in it. The water will attract the thread into the hole.
Oh, I've never tried that. Does it work with gin?
Don't waste your gin.
Does it work with gin? Yeah, that's what I need to know. Does it work with gin? Any liquid? Okay.
Are you more likely to have a glass of gin at the side of you when you're sewing than water?
I don't drink. Gosh, I'd be an absolute mess if I'd been drinking and sorry, yeah. It'd be the same sort of thing when I woke up really early one morning. I was trying to sew. This was a while ago, and I was still wearing my dressing gown, and I managed to stitch myself to my dressing gown. Yeah.
Oh dear.
I was like, I don't think I should do very early morning sewing anymore. But when I used to do early morning cake making, I used to have to pour out a glass of vodka in the morning, because you'd use that for diluting the food colouring when you're painting onto a cake. So that was quite tough. You know, you'd be up at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, making a cake, and having to unstopper some vodka. It was hard.
I can't imagine wanting to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning just to make a cake.
Oh, well, you see, I had another job, so I would get up then, I'd bake some cakes, or I'd bake the cakes at night before I went to bed, then I'd get up at sort of 3 or 4, I'd decorate the cakes, and then I'd get ready for work, and I'd drop off the cakes on my way into work at 8. I used to bake for a couple of little cafes near me. I did that for quite a long time. Yeah. Oh, I'm full of useless information.
Why are we not seeing cakes here on a regular basis?
Well, because...
and you don't come up on the train every time?
No, I don't. And actually, when I came up last week for my birthday, or the week before when it was my birthday, I was going to bring some cake, and in the end, I came up by train. So I got Christina to make me some cakes instead. But we ate them all. I will make some cakes. It's just finding the time again. And like I say, you know, quite often I end up coming up on the train, and I don't want to be lugging my cakes on the train. It's never good to do something like that.
No, I think I probably might have eaten too many by the time I get to here.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that your optimum length and arm's length?
Yeah, so basically it's the length from here to here is long enough not for it to get too tangled. Because you have a really, really long thread, you're going like this with your arm all the time, and it just gets tangled. So that is probably the best size when you're doing embroidery. So if you do anything with the Embroidery Guild, that's what they always say is the best size to use. So I'm taking their word as gospel.
Yeah, must be right.
As their, and then that makes more sense to me. And it means the last thing I want to do is have you don't want a big knot anywhere when you're trying to stitch things together. Oh, please thread. Oh, I hate this when that happens.
You end up cutting a little bit more. Marianne says, Becky, if you put a drop of super glue on the needle threader where the wire is attached to the metal or plastic when brand new, needle threaders last really well.
Oh.
So it's about preparing it before you
right, okay.
start using it.
Right, I'll know that for next time.
Do you need to leave a gap of a certain size, top and bottom, for your border to go on?
Yeah, well, we're only using about 1/4 of an inch around the edge. So it'll be 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. So yeah, that's roughly what I've sort of taken into account when I do it. You could mark it out if that's what you wanted to do, just to be totally sure. But yeah, 1/4 of an inch seam allowance is really what I'm going to be doing.
Just thought I'd ask, because whether that had been, picked for any reason or...
No, it's just normally that you work with 1/4 of an inch seam allowance.
Perfect.
So, it's very similar to
1/4 of an inch for mats and nails, don't we? But we do 1/4 of an inch in total.
Right, I've got a couple more to do. How are we doing for time? Might have to...
Tightish, but hopefully we'll get there. You always knew that there was a lot of hand sewing in this, didn't you?
Yeah, it's the hand sewing that takes the time. But then, that's the beauty of these cut and stitch dies. If you didn't want to hand stitch this, you would just cut them out of felt and glue them on. The fact is you've got these perforations to create these pretty designs. That's the beauty of them. So once you've got a bit of, I've got one small one left to stitch, and then I've got that big one left to finish off, and then I've got a couple of little berries. So I might stitch 1 or 2 berries, and then the rest of them we can add on, I could glue on. That's what we fancy doing. So I do hope, people are, anyone that's got these has already planned what they're going to be making with these.
Yeah, it'd be nice to know what people,
Christmas.
if anyone have got them.
Christmas will come up really quickly, really,
It
won't it?
Sue Benson says she's got a sewing machine that will thread a needle, but it's never worked for her.
Yeah, I mean, my one, this one does that as well, and mine at home do that. But they don't. They sometimes can be a little bit pernickety, and they only pop out a very small loop at the very back of your machine. So you've still got to make sure your big sausage fingers are steady when they take them out. I have got sausage fingers. They're like a Cumberland sausage, my fingers.
I think not, but there we go.
Wow.
This looks really effective though, doesn't it? Ever so pretty. But I think I see now why you were saying about ironing that fabric beforehand, because at least then when you're stitching your holly on, you know it's going to be nice and flat.
Yeah, and it's quite nice to have the 2 layers. It gives it a bit more substance, rather than just having one layer of fabric, that cream fabric. Am I going to just have enough? Oh, it's going to be really tight. Just trying to get this round here.
Is it going to finish? Do you measure your thread and see if it's going to work?
No. You just wing it.
I mean,
do you get
part way? Do you sew faster when your thread's coming to an end?
Well, yeah. There's that little race that you have with your bobbin on your sewing machine to make sure that you don't run out. Yeah, this is going to be super tight. This one, whether we get it through. Have to be a bit careful in this last little bit.
So you're going to show us some ribbon threading dies this afternoon, aren't you?
Yeah. I've got 6 demos ready.
Oh, but have you got that cardstock off our Jakey yet?
Oh no, thanks for reminding me. I need to go and get that. Yeah,
Becky was explaining to me that she made a card out of a piece of card that she put aside for a demo, and she made it for a card to give to someone and forgot that it was actually meant for a demo.
So my mum had come over and she went, oh, that's lovely. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful paper, beautiful cardstock. And I thought, oh, it was her 85th birthday on Wednesday. And I thought, oh, well, I'll see if I've got any of that left. And I did. I had a little bit left, and I was like, oh, that's great. I've got a little bit of that left. I'll make my mum a nice card. And then realised I didn't have any of it left at all. I'd used the bit that I was supposed to be using on the show today. Typical, isn't it?
So
I don't know.
Today there was a party for your mum's sister for which birthday?
Her 80th.
80th. I
Yeah.
thought you said 85th for that. I was going to say, but you've just
No,
said your mum was
80th.
So,
And yeah, so I'm missing that today.
but she's 80 and your mum's 85 in the same week.
And actually, my auntie's birthday was in June, but they had her party this week because they couldn't sort of fit it in any other time. And then my other auntie is born in June as well, and she's just turned 91.
Wow.
So yeah, they're all old ladies. If you're watching, you're all old ladies.
I bet you tell them as well, don't you?
Yeah. We do. I pat them on the head and oh, bless you, oh dearie. You don't like that. He'll get quite angry with me.
I bet your son already does that to you now, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He does. Yeah, sometimes there are things that I see on I hear mentioned on a TikTok perhaps, or something like that, on a TokTik, whatever they're called. Sound like a middle-aged lady. And I said, what does that mean? And I phoned up my son and I was like, they've used this phrase, what does it mean? And quite often he goes, oh God, it's so embarrassing, I can't believe you don't know that. There were a couple of things that I was like, I don't know if it's rude, I don't know if it's non-rude, I don't know if it's silly, but don't quite understand what people were saying there. Right. Bit more stitching around here. So I'm going to finish this one off. I'm not going to put the other piece of, the other bit on there. I'm going to carry on stitching on here, and then next thing I'm going to do is going to put some of the berries on. I'm not going to worry about this last piece of holly, and then we can take a little break, I suppose, to see if people want to catch up if they are crafting along before I put those berries on.
Okay. All right. Now I want to show you the weekend wonder that we have got this week. Apparently, it's been very popular, and I think that's because this is your bag that has been out of stock for up to a year. Oh, they've just put the wrong, just a minute, we've got the different one on there, just a minute, it's just coming up. There we go, here we go. So you're going to get the carry-all bag. So like I say, this has been out of stock for nearly a year, but this is a large one. You can get your cutting mat in there. You've got loads of pockets in there. So if you are using things like your Gemini plates, you can put those in there. Fabric in there. That's your A3 card's going to fit in there. Loads of bits. You've got big pocket in the front. Now you're going to buy that, and again that folds when it's not in use. I mean, it folds up. Really quite small. And then you're going to get your fabric cutter. So it's like, well, it's not like, it is a rotary cutting machine. So you've got your acrylic base, all marked off in centimetres and inches. It's 30 centimetres along that way and 38 centimetres down that way. So that's be 12 inches, won't it, across there? So you know, oh yeah, look, oh no, it's not. It's 14 inches and then, oh, it's 14 inches both ways. There we go. I was reading something wrong. I was reading the numbers upside down. There we go, back to front. So yeah, it's a nice square one. You've got all the grid markings on there. You've got diagonal lines on there as well. So you're going to be able to get all of those angles. You probably can't see that because of mine, but you've got all of those grid markings on there. Lovely rotary cutter down the side. So you're going to get everything cutting lovely. So if I'm thinking about this, this goes on top of your fabric, and then you're cutting like that. I was looking for it to be a guillotine and the fabric fed through, because that's how much I know about sewing. Now, those two together cost £79.98 or $112.94. That's those two. So what we're going to give you for absolutely free is your A2 cutting mat. It's a self-healing cutting mat. It's broken down into thirds, as you can see just there. It's a large mat, and you've still got all your grids. You've got all of the bits coming across. There we go. There we go. So you've got all of that on there. Self-healing. It folds into 3 for storage. Absolutely brilliant. You're going to get that $29.99 or $29.95 in dollars. You're going to get that for absolutely free. That can't be right. $29.99. It must be. I'm trying to work out if I had that the right discount, but there you go. So it's about £30, $30 worth of cutting mat for absolutely free. And then the other ones I wanted to show you, put them down, there we go, and I put the mat on top, is our star cutting dies. So again, these are your multimedia dies, and these have been so popular. Look at this. So I've got my hands over there. You're going to get 15 dies in here. So full instructions. This is your nativity characters, so you can see all the little baby there, and you've got the kings and the shepherds, Mary and Joseph. You've got them all in there. So those are gorgeous, and you get in the star and then all of the characters as well. They come out at 4 inches by 3.9 inches. So there, you've got a rough size of that. You've got festive animals. Because we all need a festive penguin. You've got reindeer, penguin, polar bear, owl, robin, bunny rabbit, festive bunny rabbit. Okay.
Yeah, rabbits celebrate Christmas, don't they?
Do they?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, right, fair enough. Okay. There we go. So you've got all of those on there. You've got your gold one, so multimedia. And the next one you've got is your festive friends. You've got Santa, you've got Mrs. Claus, you've got a couple of Mr. and Mrs. Gnomes, elves, you've got gingerbread and snowman. And they all sit within the star. So just remember, you've got full instructions included in these. This is $38.98 or $49.42. That is half price, so that is absolutely brilliant. So you buy in 1.5 and you're getting 1.5, but platinum price is even better, £31.18 or $39.54. Maybe you're going to get it even lower with your summer code. Right. There we go. Couple of comments. Rhonda says, my mum is 92 and still quilts. She also still drives. I think she's in better shape than me. Oh, wow. Bless you, Rhonda. Keep going. I think it's all in the mind, isn't it? Sandy says, mine arrived yesterday. I have plans for a class at my grandkids' homeschool group, thinking in terms of a garland. Needless to say, I have lots of cutting to do. Mine arrived yesterday. What did she arrive yesterday? It wouldn't have been that because it's only lunch day. Maybe a fabric cutter.
Maybe?
Maybe, yeah. I'm not sure which ones arrived yesterday, but you've got lots of cutting to do, Sandy. So, oh, that's lovely, though, at your grandkids' homeschool group. I don't know a lot about homeschooling, but I understand that even though you homeschool them, there's lots of groups around, isn't there, so that children don't miss out on that interaction, which I think is really, really good. So, oops, there we go. Brilliant, brilliant. Right, where have you got to there now, Becky?
Well, I've got a couple of little berries on there. So I'm going to, because I want to finish the whole thing off, I'm going to finish that there, and I'm going to do a couple more berries down there, just so you can see how they stitch. And then I'm going to start making the actual table mat. So I'm just going to give that trim there.
But I think what you said about using a sparkly ribbon, and ribbon thread, that's the word, thread for the berries would look amazing.
It would look really good, yeah. So I've got a different thread here. So the berries are red, obviously, and then this is actually a pink, which comes in that rainbow set. But I didn't think it really mattered that it was a different colour, because it just sort of makes everything glisten a little bit. So we'll just...
What's that, the thread's pink or the...
Yeah, the thread's pink.
It works, isn't it?
Yeah, the berries are the red felt, but it's that bumper rainbow thread pack that we have on the show. So you've got lots of different bright colours in there, but you do have 2 different greens in there, but you didn't have a red.
Look at the price of that.
That's a great, and you get a lot in there. We've got a picture of it.
sets of embroidery
So
thread.
that's what you get, and the other ones.
Wow.
So quite a lot of thread in there.
That is a lot, because you don't use the whole thickness of the sheen, do
No,
you?
no,
You
it does
break
go a
them
long
down.
way. Definitely goes a long way. So I'm going to do 2 of these here, and then we're going to get going on the rest of the table mat.
So you can put as many holly leaves and as many holly berries on as you choose, I guess, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, there's a cushion cover. I won demo of the month with it. I'm very excited about that. But use the little lights, the light that come with this in this actual pack. So so obviously you've got all those different cut and stitch dies, but this one that has holly also has little lights, like fairy lights in there, and that looked really, that looked really quite cool with the those little shapes in there. Right, I'm going to just put this last one in. So again, I'm just stitching through that hole, just doing back stitches all the way around with those 3 strands of embroidery thread.
Brilliant. Yeah, it looks so pretty. I was looking at the shelf, Becky, and we've not got many cards for demo of the week for this week.
Do you think I might? There aren't very many. Why are there not so many?
There is 2. Let me have a look. We have got 2. We have got Michelle from Monday, demo of the day.
Yeah.
That's not totally sure. There's a box frame. And then we've got Jan's from Friday.
Is that it? There's nothing else?
Nope.
Oh, there's nothing of. No, it's all gone.
No.
There was a board over there, Lily, but it's all gone. Everything's empty.
We'll have to go look for somebody's desk
Go
in
and
the
find
office.
it all.
Make sure we've got them for tomorrow, because we're going to be doing it. We need to do that tomorrow in our first look, and that's only an hour long.
Yeah, we'll have to be quick, won't we?
Would you still do it in Sarah's?
Well, they're doing the last show.
Do it in the last show.
We
That's okay.
we won't get a look in if it's going to be at the last show, because Sarah's going to get it in the last show, isn't she? Well, hopefully, it'd be nice. Right, I'm just going to pick up this needle before I drop it on the floor. Right, so we've got, I've almost finished this. I mean, I would want to put a little bit more on there, a little bit more berries, but we haven't really got the time to do that. So now the next thing I want to do is I've got my piece of wadding. So this is wadding or batting. It's the stuff that goes in the middle of a quilt to protect everything. So we want to make sure that this piece is the same size as the outer part of our table mat once we've put in our binding, which it should be around about the same kind of size. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to take my binding strips, so these are 2 inches wide, and I'm just going to stitch them all the way along top, bottom, left and right sides, and then we're going to fold them back and we'll be able to see that edge and we'll be able to stitch everything together.
So do you do them individually, like your top and then your bottom?
Yeah, do top and bottom first. I mean, it doesn't really matter which way you start. It depends on how you want to finish it. I mean, you can make it by having mitered corners, but again, I knew there wouldn't be enough time to do something like that with this.
Sandy's dies that arrived with these ones. The dies for the craft along.
Yeah.
That's what arrived yesterday.
Right, yeah.
So she's going to be cutting those out. There we go. She also says where Sheena's from Wednesday. We just realised when cards win demo of the day, they have to be photographed for our records, and we know where they are. They're all on somebody's desk where they were photographed during the week, so we're going to go fetch them. Don't worry, Sheena's will appear. Donna Yam says, good morning, that is lovely. I may need to find her sewing machine. Where's your sewing machine, Donna? Where do you need to find it from? I don't know. I wonder where it is.
Chocolate cupboard. Is that where it is?
I don't know. Mine's under the stairs.
Do you have a chocolate cupboard? Does anyone else have a chocolate cupboard? It's just me.
Just you. Whole cupboard?
Wardrobe. It's a whole cupboard, yeah.
And do you keep it well stocked?
To be honest, there's all sorts of things in there. I don't like food with alcohol in it, or I don't like chocolate with alcohol in it. And people always buy me chocolate truffles. and I find it really disappointing, like rum truffles, and I don't really like them. There's lots of things like that in there. Stuff that
I've got left.
Yeah, but we do put chocolate, whenever we get chocolate, we put it in that cupboard. But then people forget, and then, you know, sometimes I think, oh, I really fancy something, and I find like some box of really nice chocolates that the kids had got from somebody, and just think, well, you know, they've forgotten. It's a free-for-all as far as I'm concerned.
It is. Ooh.
Oh, hotel chocolates are good.
Yeah. Yes, they're very nice.
Going to give that a bit of an iron, and then we're going to trim the edges, or trim these bits, and then put these bits over the top, like that. So we're not far off now. We're going to be good for time.
Beverly Dials just a minute. Thomas Fugate says she loves this show.
Oh, good, thank you.
Thank you. It is a little bit different. You know, it is always different doing sewing on a craft along. We appreciate that, but I'm in awe of Becky's straight stitches.
My mum wouldn't say they're straight. Oh my goodness, she'd say.
Yeah, only your mum's allowed to critique your sewing.
Have you not got your straight edge out? And I don't know, Becky. I don't know. It's very slapdash. Says it all, really. Always been very slapdash.
Does that sound like your mum? Does it?
No, it sounds nothing like my mum. sounds more like one of my tutors from college. Right. Okay, next one here.
This is one from our bundle that we showed you earlier, this fabric. So this is the Winterberry Holly, and it's in the traditional...
I do.
I'm just going to put the details on the bottom of the screen for you. There's some beautiful fabrics, because you saw we used, in the bottle bag earlier, we used the gorgeous silver. Looks so beautiful, doesn't it? And there you go. It's the Liberty, a woodland Christmas. It's in the Winterberry Holly in the traditional, and it's there on the bottom of the screen for you. $8.49 or $12.49. If you want a metre, order 2. And what have you? Yeah, that has been confirmed, definitely. Up to 8 metres maximum. So that would be 16 lots you'd have to buy. Yeah. If you order more than 8 metres, it's going to come in separate pieces. But I think that's fairly reasonable. It's fairly reasonable.
So if you want to make Ben a shirt, you need to order, I don't know how much you need to order. You need to order a fair amount, wouldn't you? 3 metres, 2.5 metres?
Or would it be as much as that for a shirt?
Pardon?
Is it that much for a shirt? Have you lost one of your...
I've lost one of my strips. There it is. Strips of fabric. I knew I had it somewhere. 1.5 to 2 metres would have said, something like that. Got this long sleeve shirt. Don't know, roughly.
Donna says, yes, I have a chocolate cupboard. Her sewing machine isn't in there, but she moved house about 2 years ago. I'm not sure where my sewing machine is. It's definitely not been seen for a while then, if you've been in the house 2 years. I'm sure you could find it, Donna, if you went looking. There's only a finite number of places it could be, isn't there? Because it's quite big. It's not like going to be under the bed. Yeah. Hope it's not in the loft, because that would be hard to get back down. But I don't think you would have put it up in the loft. It's probably under the stairs or at the back of the pantry. Is pantry posh? Larder? No, Lily doesn't know anybody with a pantry or a larder.
I've got a larder, a walk-in larder. It's very Nigella.
Yeah. With spice peaches in. Is that how you envisage a larder, Lily? With
I do have jars of pasta, different types of pasta. Yeah.
Yeah.
And truffle oil.
Oh.
Which I love. My little. Oh, it's delicious. Oh yeah. Of course you could. It's olive oil, but with little pieces of truffle in them.
Truffle's a fungi.
No, I don't like mushrooms, but I do love truffle.
It's not like a mushroom. It's hard and you grate it.
Yeah. Yum.
They're found
over
by
the chips.
Pigs find truffles.
But you can have truffle, a little bit of truffle oil drizzled over some chips with a little bit of Parmesan cheese over the top. It's just, absolutely incredible.
You see, Becky
Really good.
lives differently to you and I, Lily. Triple cooked chips. Are your chips triple cooked, Becky?
No, honestly, just even like, your normal sort of oven chip kind of things, just make them a little bit better, by putting a little bit of truffle oil over the top of them. They are
Nice.
makes them great, really good. Right, I'm just trimming those little ends off.
We've
And
got
do
about
the
10
same
minutes. You can
this
get
side.
this finished in 10 minutes,
Oh yeah,
can't you?
yeah, this will be fine.
Brilliant.
And again.
That's a good question. That's a good question, Lily. I'm going to say chocolate in fridge or cupboard. Discuss.
So for me, it has to be chocolate in the cupboard. But my husband is chocolate in the fridge, so we have a lot of arguments.
Do you know
about
what?
it.
That's exactly the same in our house.
Really?
I don't. I like it at room temperature.
Yeah, 'cause you can taste it
Colin
properly.
likes it in the fridge.
Yeah.
Well, I can eat a yoghurt straight from the fridge, Lily, but I like my salad out of the fridge for at least half an hour beforehand.
So
I made Colin a salad for his tea last night,
Yeah.
and I left the house about an hour or so before, but I cling filmed it up and left it on the side for him because the last thing you want is a salad straight out of the fridge.
Yeah.
Tomatoes have no taste. Have you ever picked a tomato straight out of a greenhouse? Tastes gorgeous. Yeah, they are. The flavour is intensified, like, yeah. We've got some little alpine strawberries in the garden, and I was picking those and eating those straight out of the garden, and it was lovely because they were warm by the sun. It tasted really nice.
I like my crisps from the fridge.
Crisps?
Mm-hmm.
Does a crisp even go cold?
They're really nice. No, they just get really, really nice. Really like.
Do you
to
know
taste
what?
them.
I didn't even know a crisp could go cold.
Yeah, they go really nice, really good. So when you get anyone when you get them out of a vending machine, they're always really cold, and they just taste
true.
better when they come out of a vending machine.
So are you talking like
a whole pack?
Are you talking like potato chip crisp? Regular. Or what about things like I just did at my Monster Munch? Then they're different than Monster Munch, aren't they? You want proper
I think it's
crisp.
traditional
Or as
potatoes,
American colleagues would say, chips.
Yeah, exactly, that sort of thing. I've just cut my green fabric a little bit too small, which was very remiss of me. So I'm just going to quickly go to some blue. It's not great because it's blue, but it doesn't matter because it's on the back. So I'm going to mark, just going to get the rough idea, and I'm going to trim that afterwards.
There you go. Sandy said, chocolate in Florida, fridge in summer, cabinet in winter.
Oh, yeah.
Lillian says, fridge because my flat gets so hot it will melt otherwise. There you go. Yeah, because I like chocolate with a cup of tea, you see. Do you know what? I've never seen you drink a cup of tea, Lily. Oh, she only drinks. That's why I've never seen you drink tea. She only drinks it first thing in the morning. I mean, I've worked with you for 4 or 5 years, and I don't think I've ever seen you drink a cup of tea.
Is that because you're worried that someone's not going to make the tea
then
right?
if you never drink a cup of tea at work? Water. You're very healthy. Very healthy. Apart from the chocolate cupboard.
Well, I think your running takes into account, any chocolate that you're having. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's everything in moderation and balance. Everything in moderation and balance. There we go. Oh, crisp and salad cream sandwich. Oh, love that. I love a crisp and salad cream.
I don't
Now,
like
I've got
salad
another
cream.
one for you.
Yeah.
Crisps and chocolate together.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, I like that. Somebody told, yeah, it's just like salted caramel chocolate, isn't it? I used to do, what was I used to do? Ready, salt vinegar or ready salted. I haven't done it for years with a Kit Kat.
Oh, that's
really
quite nice.
nice combination. Crisp and a Kit Kat. Yeah.
So I like a bit of caviar with some vanilla ice cream.
Of course, Becky. Oh, there's only one person in this studio. Lily likes raspberry sauce on her vanilla ice cream. Becky likes caviar.
I don't often get it.
Lily?
No, I don't.
Different world, love. Different world.
But like, if we go, you go out somewhere special and they've got nice caviar, I do like a little bit of caviar. But I don't have it. I've
only been offered caviar once.
Have you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I do like it though.
I went to work with my dad one Friday, and it was when they opened all the drinks cabinets at lunchtime, what they used to do on a Friday, and somebody brought caviar and champagne in. Fish egg.
No, it's fish eggs.
Lily can't have it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Christmas salad cream sandwich, not mayonnaise, it's got to be salad cream.
Oh, you sound not keen on salad cream.
But with crisps, try it.
Really?
Yeah, ready salted crisps and salad cream sandwich.
Okay.
White bread, lots of butter.
We'll have that tonight when we get home.
You've got posh bread at the house. I think it's my favourite bread. That I could see through the packet what it was. I was like, oh.
I have got posh bread. It was a little treat.
It's a cranberry and walnut bread.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. It's good. It's one. If I go shopping, I come back with that, and then Wensleydale and cranberries. I love that. Wensleydale and cranberry cheese, and then this bread. You've glued your batting on, haven't you?
I have, yeah. So I just used some adhesive spray and I'm stitching around the edge. Now, unfortunately, I did make my pieces of fabric were a little bit, my bit of batting is a little bit too small, but it doesn't matter. So I'd already pre-cut it before I came in today, and I'd obviously not done it quite.
But that's the same size as your green one, isn't it?
Well, normally what I would do is I'd have it too big, deliberately, and then I'd trim it down here, which I didn't do. Yeah.
Never mind.
Never mind, it doesn't matter. Won't make any difference.
But you've just shown everyone how to sort it.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
So what are you doing, like, most of the way round on this?
Yeah, I'm just stitching all the way round, apart from the very bottom, where I'm just going to use that to turn out.
Oh, apparently Chris dunked in peanut butter. I like apple in peanut butter. That's a nice combination. Oh, celery and peanut butter. This show has been so random, but educational. A lot of people would say, yeah.
Not found out if many people have done skinny dipping, though, have we? I think everyone's too...
Oh, the only one that commented that was Rachel, who could not confirm or deny.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
All right. I'm going to trim those little corners off, and I'm going to turn it around the other way, and we are done. So we've got
timing is perfect.
Got that little gap here.
There we go. Oops. And then you hand stitch the whole close, do you?
Yeah, you could use a sewing machine if you wanted. I mean, you just have to ignore the blue, because obviously the blue is not the key colour. I would use red or green, or maybe another bit of cream if you wanted to do that. And you could absolutely quilt this over the top, which would be really nice. You know, use some of we had some Christmassy kind of stencils that you could use. So, just pop that.
You see, you can't see the blue, love. It's absolutely fine.
No.
Absolutely fine.
Back. Just poke those little corners out, and then we would just give that an iron, fold that in, and then hand stitch that together, and there you have your finished little table mat. And then if you've had enough time,
you could embroider people's names onto them.
You could, yeah. If you've had a little time, you could make a little napkin ring as well, using one of those little animals.
He is super cute. Oh, we are loving that. Now, if you want that, details are up there. You need the cut and stitch 5-piece collection. A lot of people have bought these recently and are loving these. You've got Christmas lights and holly, Santa Claus, reindeer, and the snowman as well. And then you're going to get, effectively for free within the bundle, your 14-piece felt, and there's lovely colours that work so well with this. $39.96 or $51.80, but your platinum price is going to go right down to $31.97 or $41.45. 4 in the US. Now don't forget to use that code SUMMER if you want to get an extra £5, euros or dollars. And Becky and I, it's 4 o'clock. I don't know how it's got to 4 o'clock. It just seems like 2 minutes ago since I was getting out of bed. It's 6 o'clock tonight. We've got a masterclass all about ribbon threading, and I'm staying here. Becky is going to be doing our paper crafting. She loves paper crafting.
They're making me work for it today, aren't they?
They
really
work
are.
for it, but you will be absolutely brilliant. So that is what we've got there. So that will be today, and then tomorrow morning we've got Second Chance Sunday. First thing, a first look, and then Becky and I will go away, and Sarah and Ben will be in for the 6 o'clock show that's actually starting at 5 o'clock. So you've got the VIP hour first, so make sure you tune in for that, and that will be the launch of our Christmas 2023. So please make sure you come back and join us. We'll see you at 6 o'clock. Bye.